right, Mama. So we put out a little shout out to our community, our show community, with saying, hey, you're going to be in studio. And then we said, do you want to have any questions for Lila's mom? I think Anna on our team posted it. So we're getting a lot of them in. So are you ready for this? We're going to go and do some. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wow. Here's a long list here. Okay. Are you Italian?
Yes, I am 100% Italian. Two of my grandparents immigrated from Puglia in southern Italy, and the other two immigrated from Messina, a little town outside of Messina in Sicily. So yes, I am Italian.
Wonderful. There's a lot of funny questions here. Okay, I'll just do this one. This is maybe a short answer. Was your mom ever a Democrat?
Yes, both of my parents were Democrats.
Blue collar Democrats.
Definitely Kennedy Democrats from Massachusetts. What else could they be? Yes, absolutely blue all the way. That's where I came from. But sadly for them, 2 of their 4 children turned very red as they grew older. So here we are.
Hardcore pro-lifer here, of course. Well, we got to make sure the red stays pro-life, right? That's that's another topic. Okay. We discussed this a little bit in the episode, but advice you have to raise God-centered children.
Oh boy. Well, number 1 would be prayer. Of course, that goes without saying. And as I said earlier in the podcast, Jesus is the model. And just aspiring to follow him more closely as you grow in your parenting will, by his grace, reap a lot of rewards. So
you've been very faithful with that, you and Dad growing up. It was always, church, Bible study, prayer, obviously at meals, but, prayer before bed, Bible verses posted on the wall. We were studying the Bible. This was the upbringing, singing psalms, singing hymns. Like Dad would literally write songs, like faith songs, Jesus Christ, Son of God, telling the story of our faith, and he would put it to music and he would do original compositions and we would sing.
I think knowledge is important, but even beyond that, it's more having the heart and mind of God, which comes over a lifetime. So when I say to do that, I'm not saying it as one who has done that perfectly. I'm saying it as one who learned over time how important that was and tried to live that way. So it's not about being perfect. It's about, or it's not a formula. It's more, how does God want you to treat your children, and what kind of person does he want you to be? And then as you grow, by his grace, your children will follow. And I always pray too, and this is a little bit of a selfish prayer, but if children are going astray, my prayer is that God will take away their free will and just bring them into the fold.
Aww.
I know that that's just a mother's heart. So prayer is very important. And there's so much mystery around it. We don't know what goes on in the heart and in the mind, but our tool is prayer and aspiring to be like Jesus. Those are our tools.
I love that, Mama. Thank you. What is your funniest memory of your daughter? Parentheses, Lila. You have 3 daughters, I know, but there is one.
How can I say this
it's
without
okay if it's
embarrassing you?
It's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's not
memory?
fine. I don't know what you're going to say. We'll cut this out if it's terrible. Let's hear it. Yeah.
Funniest. This is probably funny. This is funny. So when Lila was probably 14 or 15, and we were having a mother-daughter disagreement.
Put it nicely.
Or maybe I was chastising her about something. I said to her, when you have your own children, you will understand what it's like to be a mother.
Fair.
And Lila responded, I am not going to have any children because I am too busy raising your children. And that just cracked me up because Lila is the oldest girl and she has 5 younger siblings, and she was a tremendous help. She was my right-hand woman, and she did a lot, and she did it cheerfully most of the time.
Some of the
but
time.
It was a lot on her, but she was essential to our household, and I'm so grateful for that. And she just loved babies, and that's very apparent now that she's hoping to have more of her own. So that's very gratifying that in spite of all the work she did for me, she did come around and decide to have her own children.
That was a silly, sassy comment because I definitely wanted.
Of course.
And we have 3 kids, Joe and I. We have had 1 miscarriage too, but we would love to have more kids. And it's the best. It's the best thing you could do with your life, really, if you're going to be married and, open to life. So, okay. So was there another one? Did you have another?
Oh boy.
It's okay. Now I'm curious. What else?
I don't know if you want me to share this one.
Right.
When you were 3 years old, I think, of the man who loved you so much at the basketball game, and you
an older guy thought I was like a sweet little girl.
You made an observation about him that wasn't too kind.
You can share that. That's okay.
It's just silly.
I was a rude 3-year-old.
She wasn't rude. She was just very observant and very guileless, and just kind of spoke her mind. And we were at a basketball game watching her older brother play basketball, and there was a very elderly man in the stands who thought she was adorable, and she was. And so they were kind of talking back and forth and laughing. And finally, Lila looked up at him and very curiously asked, why are your teeth so green? And he just kind of looked at her, and I was mortified as her mother. He looked at her and said, I don't know.
Oh, guy.
I know.
Before white strips were on Amazon.com, you could order them for $50.
It was just a childlike thing to say, and so adorable in a sense.
Sorry, Mom, for that one. That's like my kids now. What was something that one of them said recently? But yeah, you never know what your 3-year-old's going to say in public, right?
Never know.
All right, guys, before you click away, we are doing 30 more minutes exclusively with my mama. We're going to be asking her questions that you guys sent in. Some of them are a little personal. You can go check that out over at rosereport.supercast.com for a 30-minute Q&A with my mom. Show her some love. You can do that by subscribing to the Rose Report at rosereport.supercast.com. And we'll see you there. Thank you so much for your support.